say good day to Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth is in the house! And here he is. He's come to play his new song. How are you, Christopher?
Right, very well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations on a great film.
Thank you.
Crime 101. The team and I went to see it at Eric's house, Eric Fellner's house the other day. Yeah, we were very lucky.
Good.
It's a gang-busting film. Honest, I know he's here and he could beat me up if I said the wrong stuff, but it really
I wouldn't do such a thing.
It's a great film. Well, you might. It's Crime 101. It's out 2 weeks today. It is so cool. What I've done, Chris, straight off the bat here, it reminds me of a lot of films. I know you won't mind, hopefully. And Bart, the director, is going to come in a bit. He's a Brit, by the way. He's a solid Brit. He knows what he's doing, if this film is anything to go by. So it reminds me of a few films, but I thought we'd have a little game about, which films they remind me of. So we've got a minute for this, all right? We've got a timed minute.
Go.
And the prize is you get to stay on. Okay, so coolest car chase ever, coolest car in a car chase ever, coolest guy ever driving a car.
Bullet.
Bullet is the right answer, yeah.
Going.
Okay, same coolest actor in an art heist movie which was remade with a James Bond in the lead role.
No.
No?
What? Would you have a quick peek at that?
No, you can't. No, so okay.
Next question, I'll come back to it. I'll get a.
All right, okay.
It's too early. Where's my coffee?
Okay, well, no, because you need to know the answer to that one to get this one. I thought you'd get the Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown Affair.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Same James Bond in the remake of that. Okay, that's Pierce Brosnan. Starring in a Bond movie, opposite your amazing co-star Halle Berry.
Yeah. Same what?
Yeah. The same?
There's a lot of yelling and ringing of bells.
Okay,
and
all right. Okay, so Thomas Crown Affair was remade.
Yeah.
Starred Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan was James Bond.
Yeah.
Halle Berry was in a James Bond movie. She's in your movie. What was the James Bond movie she was in?
Die Another Day.
Yes, Die Another Day.
Thank you.
Okay, your film, Crime 101, also reminds me of a film about a getaway driver who has tinnitus, so only drives with music playing in earbuds. Amazing soundtrack.
Baby Driver.
Yes, Baby Driver. Tarantino's first movie featuring crazy Mexican standoff, and all the male characters are called Mr. Someone or Other.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs is the right answer. This is my favourite. Okay, there have been several in the franchise, but the first sequel was something 12 because the first one was Ocean's
11.
Yes!
Still here.
Nicolas Cage with a word that rhymes with scone and a minute to make stolen cars disappear.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Correct. And finally, courtesy of Mr. Mark Ruffalo, not so much a film, but an eponymous detective series starring a scruffy cop in a raincoat tuning.
Columbo.
Yes! Got there in the end.
Whew.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, rough start, but we got there.
Are you happy with the films?
I'm happy with the films,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm happy I got, what did I get, 9 out of 10?
No, it doesn't
roughly?
matter. You get to stay on.
Okay, I'm still here.
We had records to play. And weather reports and news bulletins and things like that. No, so honestly, Bullet's in there. Of course it is. Thomas Crown Affair's in there. Yeah. Die Another Day. It's Baby Driver. It's I really mean that, by the way.
Thank you very much.
It's such a great film, man. It's such a great film. We are not allowed really to review it because it's embargoed, but we can say whether we like it or not. We loved it. You can review it because they ain't going to take you to court, are they?
I loved it too.
Yeah, you loved it too. Tell us what goes on.
Yeah, look, it was somewhat of a throwback and homage to the films you've just talked about, the classic heist films of the 70s, 80s, 90s, but with a contemporary feel to it. And what I loved the first time I read this film, it was a character-driven crime thriller, but there was suspense, and you see that throughout the action, but also complex characters, emotional depth, and it delivers on all of those fronts, and it's beautifully shot. The cinematography is incredible. There's a wonderful sort of nostalgia for how Bart has set these shots, the soundtrack, the sound design. Again, big cinematic experience deserves to be seen on a big screen.
It's huge. I mean, I know that we all want people to go back to the cinema, and it's easy for us to say because we all got big tellies now, and so we say it and then we don't do it ourselves and we're hypocritical. But this film, a new sort of aspect to that argument came to us all on Wednesday. We went to go and see it. When you go to a cinema, not only is it like brilliant, from a digital screen point of view, also the sound is off the chain. You're with your mates, you've got sunken investment, you've made special time, but it's easy to suspend disbelief in the cinema as opposed to in your living room where you can see your dog being sick or you can smell the tea being made. And that, I thought, this is why you go to the cinema, for total escape.
No distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting in a big dark room with a bunch of strangers, maybe a couple of your friends, family, popcorn, soda, whatever. The whole experience is an event.
Yeah.
You know, and to see something like this as immersive, which is both thought provocative and entertaining and fun. For me, it's as you said about having a TV at home or sometimes your iPad. It just doesn't compete as good as certain screens may be. The cinema itself, we've got to spend more time there. Get out of the house, get away from the dog.
Yeah, and apparently, all the dogs. Apparently, last year was a really important year for cinema. So the worldwide box office had to hit, I think it was $10 billion to show a change in the flow of the tide. It was really important, and I think it got to 11 billion, which is great news for world cinema. Awesome. $11 billion. And if you look at the movies that are slated to come out this year, a phenomenal range of movies coming out. You know, we've already had some great movies out. This is out too early on in the year. So exciting. Yep. And as far as you're concerned, you know, you talk about being in a room full of strangers. You take that to the nth degree. On a premiere night, you had that in London this week. Yeah. How was it? How does it compare? Can you feel the vibe and the energy in the room? How can you read the room, and can you read the after party as well with regards to what they thought of the film? Do you know what I mean by
absolutely? All that? Yeah. I've sat in many cinemas when there's a what do you want to call it? A polite applause or a or a genuine sort of uproar and cheer, and there was an electricity within this film, a propulsion, the way it plays out. You are on the edge of your seat, whether it's, as I said, through the action or through the dramatic moments. And no one's getting up and going to the bathroom and chatting and leaning over and asking questions. People are we're glued to the screen. And one particular moment, Halle Berry gives this incredible, impassioned speech, and the whole cinema erupted, big applause and a big cheer.
We did. There were only 9 of us, but we did it.
Yeah,
it's great, isn't it?
Amazing,
because it comes from nowhere.
Yeah,
you know, it's not a laboured speech. It's not a speech that's just sort of stuck in there for trying to be for the right reasons, but ends up being for the wrong reasons. It literally creeps up on you, doesn't it?
It does, for sure. A lot of moments like that. There's a sort of a slow burn in one regard, and it being a heist film, you know, sort of where we're headed as far as a culmination or people are on a collision course. But each individual character has these individual moments in their environments or systems that seem to be holding them back in some way.
So you got a good vibe basically this week.
Oh, it's amazing. And the after party again, I've had plenty of films I've walked out and like, I'll see you tomorrow, yeah? Or, but I love the film. It's really fun, yeah.
And they always touch you. They always tap you like
taps your shoulder. It's almost like,
they're either
don't
pushing
come too
themselves
close.
away, or it's really weird, isn't it?
I don't want to catch anything.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah. Good to see you, mate. See you. How's the weather? But we kind of were stuck in the lobby and we were supposed to move on to the after party, and that took a long time because everyone was incredibly...
Because they want to be around the heat.
Enthusiastic, and talking about the film or what they loved and different elements and different things that reminded of them or different discussions that it raised, and because it's sort of there's a moral ambiguity to the space and to each of these characters, and it's not as simple as sort of good, evil, good cop, criminal, bad guy, so on. It opens up the discussion where each of these individuals are going against their own sort of moral code, but also being you as an audience, you're being asked to sort of understand which side of the fence you sit on, if either, or on the fence, you know. So there is a
fence in the film.
There is,
and it's Nick Nolte.
It's Nick Nolte.
Just tell us about the legend that is Nick Nolte.
Oh man, what a joy! What a joy! Yeah, just an incredible actor. I mean, sitting with him in between each setup was just as fascinating as being on screen, playing these characters, because just telling stories about different, experiences through his life.
He has lived all the lives, hasn't he?
All the life, yeah.
They say you only live once, not if you're Nick Nolte. That's a fact, isn't it? Yeah. And a wild man, a real wild man, right up there with Oliver Reed and Peter O'Toole. And I mean, I know I'm sure you can't share the stories, but I bet you were glued, weren't you?
Oh, for sure. And it's just the as you say, the history and the intensity when the camera rolls. you can't replicate that or manufacture that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is such sort of depth and authenticity to everything he says, and pain in his voice when he's disappointed in you, or aggression coming from the heart due to, what is it, 80 something years old at this point, and again, I think what he brings to that character is quite interesting because it doesn't fall into a tropey, familiar space. There's a vulnerability within him as well, and each of these characters are fractured and broken to some extent.
I apologise for talking about characters and you haven't seen the film.
Sorry.
No, we have to, because that's the only way we can do it. But you got to go see the film. I mean, it is star-studded, and everybody steps up to the plate, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you and Ruffalo, you've got a bit of previous, got a lot of previous with him.
Had a lot of fun with Ruffalo, more in the sort of comedic, in the Marvel space, and a lot of improvisation. And we were a couple of kind of naughty kids when we got on set. It was like, I'm making jokes, and Bart's like, different tone. Let's put it this way. And
sad times.
Sad times. Remember your lines. Halle Berry.
Remember your lines.
They're nothing to do with the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, no need for the pre-shot curls, man. None of that.
Barry Keoghan's in the film, and it's just a wild man and has an electricity that is on and off the screen.
Yeah, you're all on it.
Yeah.
And of course, you were one of the first films to shoot after the fires, weren't you?
We were shooting pre and post that. So we shot just before the fires in Los Angeles. Some of the places we shot in no longer exist, unfortunately. And then we actually came here to the UK to do some internal other pickups. And
I've got a run of C's, actually, talking about California, what the film meant to. So the great things about the film, the cast, the car chases, the Californication of the whole damn thing, the cut of the diamonds, only outshone by the cut of your suit now and again, your character's suit now and again, the Chris Hemsworth factor, the class and chic of Halle Berry, and when you get all that, I mean, that, you can still mess it up, can't you? It's still easy to mess a movie up.
Yeah.
But when talk about ingredients, golden ingredients. Great chefs say, you get the best ingredients, you have to do the least to them. But it can still go very, very wrong because making a movie every movie that's made is a miracle. Because it's a miracle to get a movie made.
Absolutely.
And it's like herding snakes. And then you throw actors into the mix. And then you say, let's shoot in the middle of California in the daytime with car chases.
Yeah.
And it's not only is it a bunch of actors and filmmakers, it's a bunch of really well-known, recognisable actors. What is that like when you literally stop the traffic in LA?
Oh, they love it. Yeah. It's as if the traffic's not bad enough.
Stopping the traffic themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, there's quite a few horns.
Yeah.
It's like, it's intense traffic or some really upset
Do you try and style it out at all? Do you go and have a word with the crowd?
No, well, actually, Halle and Mark were shooting in Venice Beach one time, and someone came with a little garden axe and chopped one of the cables and just shut down all the. And I don't know who that individual was, but it took them a couple of hours to get things back up and running. But we did a lot of the car chases and the driving scene actually with Mark and I within real LA traffic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing because you're interacting with, you see shots of the homeless people and so on, and that wasn't, we had a particular route we were driving and following, but in amongst the space, I mean, LA is such a character in itself, and especially the sort of gritty backdrop of downtown LA where we were shooting. But as you say, we're weaving in amongst folks who are just trying to get to work is slightly apologetic.
I saw Mark and Halle's this sort of tete-a-tete over the table. I thought I know exactly where that is. It's in Venice. It's right by the Venice sign, wasn't it?
And that's where the
axe came in. Quite a few axes around there anyway.
There's quite a few,
You walk around long enough, you'll sort of come across one.
Yeah.
Talking about the cars, so if people are considering buying one of the 4 cars in the film, could you just give us a review now? Because you've driven all 4 cars.
Yeah.
So if somebody's considering buying a Cadillac CT5 V Black, top speed 200 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, what can you tell them about that, please?
Yeah. It's sleek and sophisticated and sexy and goes really fast.
Driving. Enough about you. What about the car?
Just for the price of.
Anyway, okay, next one. Right, okay, what about this one? These are the 4 cars your character drives in this film. Chrysler 300, top speed 160 miles an hour, 485 brake horsepower, 0 to 64.4 seconds.
This was a fun one to drive. I enjoyed the previous better.
Okay, let's go.
You threw it away, though.
Never mind, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, next one. You got quite serious with this one, didn't you? The Dodge Challenger.
Dodge Challenger.
4.8 seconds, looks faster than it is, but a very cool car. Absolute legend, of course. This is the latest incarnation of this car. Top speed 203 miles per hour, 303 brake horsepower, pretty good power to weight, etc. How was it?
Aggressive. This will wake you up in the morning. This is the kind of car you sit behind that's your coffee when you punch that accelerator.
3 great cars.
3 great cars.
Okay, and lots of them get beaten up and bashed up and stacked in the movie. But of course, you could put all those 3 and all the different numbers of however many they needed to crash in the film. You could put them all up against this car, and this car would win.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the '68 Camaro 4-speed.
This was my favourite. Yeah, I tried to take this home with me.
Yeah. By the way,
wrong side of the road though. The steering
yeah.
wheel is for.
Can I say I
so.
heard about that?
Yeah, no, I do this a lot. I say, can I have some of the axe or the hammer or this outfit?
Or the car.
Or the car. The most expensive thing I tried to steal from set. Unsuccessful.
Okay, 68 Camaro 4-speed, 0 to 67.4 seconds, 325 brake horsepower, top speed 100 miles per hour. Did you drive it in anger, this or not?
I drove it with love and passion.
Yeah, it's a cool car, isn't it?
Which is another way of saying anger, yeah.
Yeah, because Working Title, who make the film, Eric's and Tim's company, they did try to buy this car. Did you know about this?
Oh, no.
They tried to
For
buy
me? No. I really thank you, Eric.
Depends how the box office goes in a couple of weeks' time.
That's right.
I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it's going to be more than fine. No, they tried to buy it and they'd done the deal, and then they were just about to wire the money, and some other film company said rented it, and it was just too late. They missed the moment.
Oh, no.
I know. Don't you hate it when that happens?
I do hate it when that happens. Yeah.
Chris, you've been on loads of shows. Of course, you have shows like this. Thank you for. I know it's not the most favourite part of the job. We're trying to make it fun for you.
No, this is. This is fun.
You're okay with this. Great. Thank you so
fun,
much.
for sure.
I loved your Vanity Fair piece with the lie detector.
Oh, thank you.
If you haven't seen, how was that for you?
Nerve-wracking because you don't know what they're going to ask you, and it didn't get through.
You're already
It didn't
just
get
squirming now.
That's my tell.
This is a man who has snakes in his bed for fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. As I said,
It was good.
It was my voice
you
was
ever
very
heard
high.
his
I
voice
don't
that
know.
high
I'm trying to remember what they asked me, but I do remember being uncomfortable and waiting for something that could really take me down. And
They basically showed pictures of people you really like and said, "Do you think you're better than them?"
yeah, I know. Yeah, and could I beat them in a fight and so on? And,
Yeah.
And I blatantly said yes.
Yeah, in real life.
And it was truthful.
Yeah, and then obviously you're great friends with Matt Damon, and they asked that question about when you go out for dinner, do you split the bill? And you said yeah, and they went, that's a lie.
That's a lie. Well, he usually sneaks off and goes to the bathroom and gets the bill before I get there, and so now I just let him.
You just let him.
I go, oh, you got it again? Ah, you bastard.
It's par for the course. You did keep asking yourself a question during that, and I love the fact you did it. Do you remember the question?
I was trying to trick it. I was trying to lie and say that I could fly.
What was the question?
That I could fly?
Yeah, you said, can I fly?
Can I fly?
And you became obsessed with trying to...
Yeah, but it got to the maybe, didn't it?
It got to the not inconsequential. What's the word they used?
Just incredible.
Inconclusive. Can you fly?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. See, my voice went up a little bit.
So that's why they don't use lie detectors in court, because
That's right.
they clearly don't work.
Of course I can.
And is that did you keep doing that because you'd heard somewhere from somebody who might know about these things?
No, I've just seen it in movies.
Yeah, if you keep saying it, you can trick.
No, it was like I was trying to lower my heart rate or trying to change my sort of internal activity, whatever was registering on the lie detector machine. I was just wanting to see if I could beat it.
Well, it was very funny, man. It was very funny. Before we bring Bart on to talk more about the film, can we talk about Limitless? Is that okay with you?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, the most important things now is that next, of course.
Yeah.
How's your dad?
He's doing good. There's, we shot that episode a year and a half ago. Came out end of last year.
Should we just say what that is for people who don't?
Yeah, sorry. It's just an episode called A Road Trip to Remember, and my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, early stage dementia, and this is 4 or 5 years ago, and so we did this road trip back into my childhood to basically the house that we grew up in. The art department were able to rent the space because a friend of ours owns it, recreate it, dress it up like it was when we lived there. And it's a process called reminiscence therapy. So to stimulate the hippocampus, the part of the brain that dementia is attacking, you stimulate old memories. This is a supercharged version of that. As we went into the home and walked through the house, and it was like stepping back in time. It was incredible and incredibly overwhelming for me. My mum was there. My dad was I don't think he knew what to say. At one point he turned to me and said, I don't know about all the theatrics, all the cameras and so on. But you saw him sort of awaken through this process. We then took a motorbike road trip up to Northern Territory, where we lived in an Aboriginal community where he used to muster cattle and work, and we grew up there. Incredible place. And the idea was just, again, stimulating old memories and trying to sort of grab a hold and wake up parts of the brain that were sort of, being taken away. And we did. We saw this sort of lift in his spirit through that experience. It was incredible for the two of us to get together and have conversations we hadn't had about his fears and anxieties around what he was facing. But he's doing pretty good, considering. I know other family members who within 6, 8 months, 12 months, in this sort of a catatonic state almost and tragic. My dad can certainly be here and have a conversation, but the short-term memory has gotten worse at certain times, but other things, have sort of stayed where they are. And I do think it's about connection, and we try and have him get out of the house and interact with as many people as possible, especially people from his past, because...
you can have that, by the way.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to steal things as we talk.
Back to the character in the film.
Thank you. Bring it back to that, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've dragged on.
No, you haven't dragged on.
You
haven't dragged on. Can I ask you this, if you don't mind? Because the whole thing about your dad and the way this film is shot, it's also important. It's so emotional for you. Of course it is, and it's so real. It's so profound. It's so vulnerable. It's so cool. If you haven't seen this, you got to watch this show. You got to watch the whole Limitless series. But there's this one show called A Road Trip to Remember. It is so wonderful and so meaningful and so brave of both of you to do that. And again, I'm not blowing smoke where the sun don't shine. The thing about it is, as you have been beaten up from both sides, and so was I, because I am a son, I was a son, and I am a dad, and you break down at one point over this photograph.
Yeah,
and I was just in bits.
Yeah,
because you can see your dad looking like you now, because he was the spit of you, and you are the spit of him. And in a heartbeat, that's going to be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the picture, how old were you in this picture with your dad?
I think I was about 4 years old.
In a heartbeat, it's going to be the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's life, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And life is so wonderful and heartbreaking all at the same time. And your film, I had to be mopped up after it, mate. It was great. It's so cool.
For me, it was the whole experience was incredibly therapeutic in places I didn't even expect or realise.
You weren't ready for it?
I wasn't. And that photograph, what hit me was, I was watching my dad. It reminded me of the memories I'd had with him. But as you said, it immediately made me think of what I may go through, or the just relationship with my kids.
Well, get on with it. Let's get on with it.
And what we set out to, I think, me trying to find a solution or a silver bullet and fix this problem, just became about connection and became about love and became about the awareness of the passage of time and the fragility of everything. But that's what makes it so special. So enjoy it and enjoy this moment, and not spend so much time, planning for the future or, looking at the past.
Yeah.
Just be right here. And particularly if people are experiencing cognitive decline, it's like just... It was, if I hadn't been made aware of it, or my family hadn't, I wouldn't have spent the amount of time. Again, I would have taken it for granted, but I spent so much more time with him since knowing this, and so I see that.
And you moved back
as a
to
blessing.
Australia to protect your family, and you now commute to LA. It doesn't matter. Who's still a commute, isn't it? Yeah. And it all matters. It's all so important. Also, if you do watch A Road Trip to Remember, you'll see this man here, Chris Hemsworth, crocodile hunter, aged about 12, in the tightest tighty-whities you've ever seen, on a genuine VHS audition for something that didn't really exist.
Well,
Is that right?
It was my media project that we were supposed to write.
Well, you can call it that if you like.
No.
We've all had those media projects.
It was my audition and never made it anyway.
It was so good though, wasn't it?
It was wacky.
Is that your Steve Irwin
That was my Steve Irwin take, yeah. We were supposed to write a script, edit it, present it, then shoot it. We basically got the camera and just kind of were like, record and stop. Now do it over here. So it's in-camera editing, no script, just improvising me as an idiot.
And there were no Godzillas, so instead you wrestled your family dog to the ground.
Wrestled my dog, yeah. Dog wasn't harmed.
Which is fair enough. And then you get in Home and Away, and then you go on Dancing with the Stars, and you went on Dancing with the Stars to raise enough money to get passage to America, and that's a fact, isn't it?
That's a fact, yeah.
And boy, did it work. And there was no plan B. There was never a plan B.
No. I sort of didn't give myself one, I suppose, but my my brain was obsessed with the idea of my soul, my psyche, whatever, that said, I'm going to Hollywood and I'm making movies. And it wasn't until I kind of started making movies that I went, oh, geez, that was pretty outrageous, that leap. And what if it didn't work? And what did I have a backup plan? But you kind of, there's a bit of insanity that has to come with that.
Yeah, no, if you join the dots backwards, none of it makes any sense. And you think you'd never do it again, but you would.
Yeah, for
100%.
sure.
No, the great thing about the way you were brought up was, because back to the film, so the stuntman, because I've seen the featurette about the driving, said, he's pretty handy behind the wheel. And that's because you were driving when you were like 7 or something stupid.
Yeah, sort of paddock bombs and so on out in different farms.
Because Australia's really big and quite difficult to get caught by the police if you know where to go.
That's right. Or you know the cops and it's okay.
Yeah, and you used to cling onto the back of your dad's Jeep while he was buffalo herding or wrangling.
Some of the time.
Is that a true story?
I wouldn't cling on the back of it. I mean, it's pretty wild, sort of what they embark on. And if you've got to see, if you've ever seen footage from that time of cattle mustering, it's intense. I can't say I was in the middle of or in the thick of it, but I was sitting on his lap, driving at certain times.
And he had this big hook, didn't he?
It has a big steel arm off the side, crane arm, which would hook onto the cattle, and then they would tie them up and put them on a truck and so on, or they would bump them with the vehicle as they topple over. They would leap onto the buffalo and tie the legs up. And one of the Aboriginal guys, Spencer from the show, talks about this, and he said, he's a Chuck Norris-looking son of a bitch, he had a long ponytail, and we were all like, who is this crazy white man? He's trying to wrestle the cattle. And he said, but what he did is to grab the bull by the tail and swing it down to the ground. And my dad's like, that never happened. And I kept asking him, did it? He said he did it. He was a nutcase.
Only your dad would deny that. We'd all be like, yeah, just say it. That's
what I kept saying. I said, let the mythology,
Yeah. He must have been really happy with you being in Rush, because he was a professional motorcycle.
Yeah, he used to race motorbikes.
Racer.
Yeah, he raced motorbikes for many years around Australia.
Which is why he leaves you for dead in the documentary.
It's constantly, yeah.
Because it's on bikes, it's on motorbikes, isn't it?
Yeah, motorbikes, yeah.
I love that film, Rush, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
And you got to play James Hunt, man.
James Hunt, yeah, that was one of the. I got to say that. Another Eric Fellner production. That and this, my 2 favourite things I've ever made.
Oh, that's nice.
The sort of to being able to play a character with the complexity that both of these characters had. But Rush, driving the cars, the 70s, it was a complete departure from what I had done in the space of Thor and the Marvel world. And this gave me that same joy and creative sort of.
And you had to drop all the bulk to fit in the cars, didn't you?
I did. I lost a lot of weight, and speaking of things I stole, I tried to steal a lot of the clothing from the character.
Because you couldn't get out of it.
But none of it fit me afterwards. Once I got back up.
And do you know any of the Australian Formula One drivers?
Not really. I'm not.
You must have met Ricardo.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't met Ricardo. Yeah, but more the. We were hanging out with like Jack Miller from the MotoGP.
I don't know these guys.
He's an Australian MotoGP rider.
Did your dad know Alan Jones? Was he a big Alan Jones fan?
Yeah.
He was a great driver.
Yeah. My dad, though, more, again, motorbikes than cars. But
wow.
He still got a kick out of it when I was doing Rush.
And Rush is doing, it's doing really well now. It's still got like 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. I loved it. I thought it was one of the great, because it's so hard to make a decent film about motorsport.
Yeah,
I thought
sure.
it was such a good
love
film.
that film. I was incredibly proud of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good. Should we talk about the latest one again?
Sure.
All right, Aussie Jane, can you please invite the British director? All right. Enough of all these Aussie fancy smanchy superstars. Let's get the guy who has to wrangle this lot into some kind of order. Aussie Jane, over to you.
Please welcome the super smart Bart Layton.
Come on! Chris, this is Bart.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for sort of softening the ground earlier on outside. I really appreciate that.
What?
Yeah. He said, you probably don't know this guy, but he's all right. Or words to that effect.
I said he's a legend. I remember listening to you. I mean, you've been doing this for
120 years.
No, I remember when I was a kid, we didn't have a shower, and so it would be bath time on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And the only thing that could get me in there was you were on, I think it was it GLR or something like that?
You're on GR, Radio London. My God, that is a long way back.
Well, I'm not that young.
Whoa!
But I remember that you were unbelievable. So there you
Wow,
go.
thanks very much.
You still got the energy.
That's when I thought I was really messing it up. So
No, it's really memorable.
70 quid a show, 140 Australian dollars a show, and here we are. That was my Dancing with the Stars moment.
That's got you here.
Yeah, got me here. They won't let
Got me
out.
in the bath.
From next door. Got you in the bath.
So you
of
both
which.
surf. This is a marriage made in surfing heaven. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although he keeps
well-
promising to take me on one of his exotic surfing trips. I'm stuck with
You made us
Cornwall.
work too
He's in
much.
Fiji.
Yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, I surfed in Fiji, and then I come over here, and he's like, "Come down to Cornwall." I'm like, "Sounds pretty cold."
Yeah. You know, all the trees, right? And they're pretty sturdy trees, right? They always have bad hair days because they're all just the prevailing winds.
They grow sideways.
They grow totally sideways. Do you get any of that in Australia? Any of that sort of prevailing wind action?
Well, we have, intense. No, we have a lot of. Yeah,
Yeah, never been asked that before.
that's what I've had for dinner.
Moving on. Right, but so I know that Working Title had you in their sights for over a decade.
Yeah.
And you finally, you finally came to say yes, I'll do this. After I don't know if you've ever seen The Imposter. Obviously, you've seen The Imposter. How good is The Imposter? By
It's
the way?
incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frame The Imposter for us if you don't mind.
Oh wow! Oh man, this
Just
is
give us
going
30
back.
seconds. I know what.
Okay, a blonde kid goes missing from San Antonio, Texas in '94.
True story.
True story. Gone without a trace. 4 years later, he turns up in an orphanage in a tiny village in the south of Spain, and no one can believe it. It's just extraordinary. They contact the American consulate. They fly the family over. The family is beside themselves. They are reunited with him. He looks a little different, but he's been through puberty, and he's clearly been through a horrific trauma. They bring him home to Texas, and that's just the start of
And
the
I'll tell
weirdness.
you what, let's not spoil it for anybody because that'll get a bump because of this film because people look you up and then they'll go through your filmography and they'll watch it. It's an amazing film. What did you think when you first saw it?
Yeah. Well, without giving it away, I want you to finish. I don't want to ruin it for people, but unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I think it was.
shocking.
I think it was the most outlandish true story I'd ever come across.
All right, it's called The Imposter. It's out there. Watch it. It's an amazing piece of cinema. So from 2012 to 2026, and you're here now, and we're here talking about this great film. And it is a great film. I love it. I wouldn't say otherwise because I don't need to because I've been in this for too long and I'm too old, too ugly, and I don't care. Right? It's a great film. Congratulations, well done.
I'm really happy
You
to
and
say
the
that.
gang. It was a COVID baby, wasn't it? You started to sort of.
Yeah, I got sent the manuscript, and I understood that the rights were kind of hotting up, that people were interested in it, and it was that second winter, not the nice one, the lockdown where it was just miserable, and
when we thought it was going to be over and it wasn't.
And then this arrived, and it was this kind of, it's this sun-bleached story. It's set all along the Pacific Coast Highway, and it's a series of robberies connected by the proximity to this freeway, and there was something about that at that time in that kind of bleak winter that it felt very appealing. I remember getting 2/3 of the way through the short story and thinking, this is kind of brilliant. I pray the ending is going to be, is going to kind of be as good as
you were
the rest
reading
of
it.
it. As I was reading it, I was
Right.
just like, holy crap, if this has got a cracking ending, then this could be one of those movies that Chris and I talk about loving as a kid, and then the ending has this killer twist that you don't see coming, that obviously we shouldn't talk about.
No,
And I
really
literally
don't talk about it, yeah.
just, I like, it was still like, I guess it would have been early morning in LA, and I was trying to get hold of my agent. I just texted him, I was like, call me now, I have to adapt this. And I knew that there were going to be other people much more heavyweight than me trying to do it, and I had a whole take on it for the writer, famous writer Don Winslow, who's a legend as well. And amazingly we got it, and I called Eric, who had offered me a bunch of movies that didn't
He was
feel right.
desperate to get you.
Yeah, well, I did see American Animals, and then we were like, let's do something big. And if you're ever going to do something big as a British filmmaker, he'd be the guy to do it with. And he sort of was like, yeah. And I was like, trust me, it's going to be because we talked about all those movies that you talked about, Bullet, Thomas
Do you want
Crown
the quiz?
Affair.
We can do the quiz again.
Well, I might get it right.
I know the answers. I can help.
Hang on a minute. You knew the answers before you started wrong.
Just to some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'm taking my diamonds back.
Yes, and I think we just thought, what happened to those movies? You remember the ones that I guess you'll have your version. I know Chris has it. You know, when you went to with your mum and dad. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and there was Heat obviously being one of them. I was like, what happened to those in the cinema? And so we set out very, we could have done it for streaming probably. We were determined it was going to be for the cinema, and Eric was on board. It took me ages to write it, and then this insane cast came together.
How did you get this lot?
It was weird, like if you're writing, it's a bit of a hostage fortune. If you get a particular actor, if you get a Chris Hemsworth stuck in your head while you're writing, it's dangerous because obviously that becomes the character. It takes.
It's dangerous until it's not.
It's dangerous until, because you might send it to Chris and he's like, yeah, thanks, mate, but not for me. And then you're like, oh, crikey. And amazingly, with this script, every first choice, because obviously you start with, like shoot for the stars. And the crazy thing is he read it and I got a message saying, Chris read it, he loved it, can you get on the phone? I was like, well, obviously.
Yeah.
We kind of hit it off straight away, I think. And obviously I'd seen his work, but I wanted a very different thing.
And Mark Ruffalo wanted the same different Hemsworth, didn't he? Mark was always saying, I want to see something else from you.
And Mark kept saying to me, Chris has got abilities that none of us have seen yet. And I figured that he'd done a lot of stuff.
Have I?
I was like, that's. I think so. Maybe. No. Yeah. It was. It was certainly an opportunity to do something very different, and I feel like around the time I did Rush, I got sent more of these types of films, and then the more Marvel films and Extraction and so on. And I love making those films. I had less and less, but there were less and less of these being written, especially to this. With this detail and this impressive, and in my conversations with Bart, immediately was I felt like at some of the time even though you wanted me to come on board, I still was going, I think I can do this, I think I can take it here, and but there was a beautiful collaboration and necessity or want to have it be very unfamiliar to any of the other characters.
And it is. It's so good, man. It's so good.
He is quite extraordinary.
But they're all extraordinary.
Yeah,
you all
incredible.
act the pants off each other and on each other. Do you know what I mean? Nobody tries to steal a scene. It's like, that's why we always talk about the Beatles, because you had 4 band leaders who agreed to be in the same band for a bit. Yeah. And you've got that going on here, haven't you? Nobody's trying to upstage each other. Everybody just holds their own, and fire breeds fire. It's amazing. And so you got Ruffalo, you got Halle Berry, who smashes it, absolutely smashes it. Barry Keoghan, who I know you've worked with before, and so was it tick tick? Were you like, is this real? Is this actually? Are all these people saying yes?
A little bit.
Was it because of the magnet? Because the magnet signed up first.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think if you get if you got someone like Chris,
It doesn't hinder the process, does it?
I think people are then like, oh, okay, so it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And then I think also it was just that thing of maybe people feeling like they hadn't seen or read a movie like this in a while, and it was a sort of like,
cool.
How about come back to the cinema for that?
I love it because it's so sexy and it's smart. It is. We talk about that Teenage Choice Awards acceptance speech of Adam Kutcher when he said smart is the new sexy. And smart is knowing what you want out of life. Then what you want is this. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And this is a smart film. It's so...
Oh, thank you.
I nearly swore that. It's so freaking smart. Do you know what I mean? And did you get that vibe when you were making it? Because it's never style before content. Yeah. But the style in the end up catches up with the content. You know what I mean?
It is. There's a sleek, sexy sophistication to it, which...
once you're sexy, you come across sexy.
Finally.
Congratulations.
That was the goal.
It's taken a while.
I just want to be sexy in this film.
But it's different though. It's different.
Yeah, no, it's different, and it's also.
Well, there was one point where he said to me, "You've changed my hair color, you've changed my eye color, you've changed my posture, you've changed the way I stand. Now you've changed my voice." What was it about me that you wanted?
What do you like?
He said, everything, basically.
That's so funny, man. And it is, we were watching it. We were watching it in the cinema on Wednesday, me and the gang here. We had such a great time, thank you. In fact, the best quote after the film was from Kedge, and he said, all that was missing was the popcorn. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Awesome.
But Eric, if you're watching, could do better. The film was a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10, or however you want to score it.
Thanks.
But it's so, you see it coming together, right? And we've got to be careful what we say. We're talking about Crime 101. It's out 2 weeks today. We can't really say we don't spoil it for you. Not allowed to either, get put in jail, things like that. But everything started, she's over there, he's over there, and it starts coming together. And you think, I was worried for you. I wasn't worried for you because you'd be all right. You got Thor on the back burner whenever you want it. But I'm like, where's this? And it comes together and you think, this isn't going to work. And you nailed it, mate. I mean, I know you know what you're doing.
Well, I did. I heard your previous guest passage you're talking about imposter syndrome. It is a real thing. I'd not done anything on this scale. And I was nervous bordering on the kind of unhealthy anxiety, and I think my reaction to that is you do a ridiculous amount of homework. You do as much prep. I shot listed the whole thing.
I think
twice.
you say something else. I shot myself every day.
There was a point where I thought it, like a small car accident, like a broken leg would be quite good, and then I could just be like, Chris, I would have loved to have seen this through, but
I'm on crutches, yeah.
But no, and then so you do that. You were saying it the other day. Fear makes you dig in deeper.
Yeah, it's a pretty good motivator.
And then you do that extra level of I storyboard everything, and there was a kind of a joke on set where they were referring to the movie as a mini-series because you got 3 and at times 4, including Barry, characters on a collision course, and they all have to have their own mini movie.
I love it.
And they're sort of separate, and so we shot a lot, but there was a good plan, and I think it's come together kind of exactly, if not better than we planned.
Well, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I have no idea how you do it. It's incredible. Congratulations. We haven't even mentioned Snatch and Guy Ritchie and Lock, Stock and all that, because you've got all that going on there as well. It's pretty darn cool. Could you do us a favour?
Yeah.
Could you be the interim Bond, just so we can have another movie?
Sure. I love that. Sure. Where do I sign?
Interim Bond would be fun, wouldn't it? Just to get us through to the next stage. It's too big a deal. Who's going to be the next Bond? You both folded your arms. It's not going to happen. Okay, I get it. I've been doing this on my first.
We're going to do it. You direct it. I'll come
Just
do it.
do the one. Just do the one. It's like, just to take the heat off the next guy.
That's right.
That's what I did with Top Gear. People think I messed Top Gear up. I didn't. I was the interim, man.
That'll be my excuse.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I made it back here. Guys, congratulations. It's great. It's great. It's out today. It's out. Sorry, it's out 2 weeks today. It's worldwide, I would imagine. Same day, same release date.
Yeah, it is.
February 12th, February 13th.
All right.
February 13th.
It is sharp. It is cool. It is fun. It's what cinema's all about. I mean, I know, as I said before, I know it's about big screens. I know it's about quality sound. I know it's about sunken investment, going with your mates and paying your money. But there's something else about going to the cinema and it giving you permission to escape. And that's what I realised on Wednesday. I've forgotten that. Got to be careful. I get a bit emotional about these things. What's that about? It's you and your dad. It's you and your dad. That's what it is. Can we hear it, please, for Chris Hemsworth?